Hello, welcome to the Twist Gift Guide 2022 Part 3. So in previous parts we've looked at games that you do with your hands, games where you're working together, some games that work well with two, and we've done stocking fillers, we've done an alternative to Monopoly. And in this third and final part, we're going to cover some party games, games that are good for big groups. We're going to cover some kind of like bluffing games and a couple of kids games at the end as well. So without further ado, pick number 1 of part 3 is Sheriff of Nottingham. So this is a bluffing game where you're trying to convince the Sheriff of Nottingham, played by one player each round, that you are not bringing contraband into Nottingham. Maybe you're not, maybe you're a good honest player. One of those, hey? This is a thought-provoking, as I say, bluffing, being sly game. It's up to 6 players. There are a few kind of like mechanics that you'll need to get your head around. So this is probably for someone who already owns some board games, someone who kind of like has a few friends that they play with, but the type of person that like doesn't necessarily like to sit down over a board game and like strategize heavily. They kind of like the social element of board games. They like the talking, the chatting, the kind of the back and forth. This is a reprint. You might have seen a box that's got like a brown cover. This is the 2nd edition that's been very eagerly anticipated. So this hasn't been available to gift for a while. This is now in stock. We've got loads of it in, and this is a really, really, really nice gift for someone. I think a lot of people would really like to have this in their collection if this is their type of game. Sheriff of Nottingham. So if you want something that is a bluffing game, but a few more people can play and it's a little bit lighter, I would recommend Cash and Guns. This was a family favourite of mine for a very long time. You play bank robbers that have just completed a heist, but now you need to work out how you are going to split up the loot. And there is no honour among thieves, so you all whip out your foam gun and you're pointing it around the table, but no one really has a lot of bullets. It's chaos, no one knows what's going on. Some people win, some people lose, some people get shot, some people get really rich, some people manage to steal an oil painting whilst all this is happening. It's chaos, it's funny, it's very kind of take-thatty. You kind of don't really need to put much thought into who you're aiming at, just pick someone to pick on and point a foam gun at them and maybe shoot them, maybe don't. Very silly, very fun, and up to 8 people can play this one. So, if you are looking for a party game, but a bit more, you're going to put a bit more thought into it, it's kind of more of a kind of puzzly type kind of thing, clue solving, then my first recommendation is a new game in called Secret Identity. So if you've come across the game concept, it's very similar to that, but essentially you are trying to get the other players to guess your secret identity, which is going to be that of a famous person or character. There are 10 in the middle of the table and you're all given one secretly. Then you need to get other players to guess yours by using just cards that have all of these little icons on, which are really cute. And you have on your board a good side and a green side and a red side. So for this one, you can see the person's was Harry Potter. So on the green side, they've put some glasses and a lightning bolt, and on the red side, they've put a snake. But you only have so many of these little cards to use, and you've got to get through several rounds of the game. So you put your cards down, other people guess who you are, you guess who other people are. It all happens at once, it's nice and quick. So yeah, definitely, it's very kind of pop culture-y, so people that kind of like articulate, and games that are kind of very social. You know the game Celebrity, where you just kind of draw a celebrity out of a hat and you have to guess them. People that like those kind of things, but are going to put a little bit more thought into what they're doing with these icons, will really, really like Secret Identity. So another kind of like thinking party game where you have to use your mind. Wavelength. Again, another very, very eagerly anticipated game this year. I played this for the first time last night and it got slid right into this gift guide. Essentially, the premise of the game is you have a spectrum and you draw a card. So every card is on a spectrum of like 180 degrees. So at this end, you might have forbidden, and at this side, you might have encouraged. And then you, as the clue giver, get given a random point on this kind of spectrum. So maybe here. and then you have to give a clue that gets the players to guess exactly where you're pointing to. It is such a thought provoker. It's not necessarily, you don't have to play it competitively, it's just kind of a good social game to play. It looks really nice on the table because it opens up and you have this big wheel that has the kind of like pointer on, and encourages so many conversations about, well, why is that this and that, but what about this? Really nice game, would look great on anyone's table. Really, really, really recommend this for kind of, people that like code names and other kind of like working things out type games. Okay, so what if you want a big party game, but you're not really up for the sitting down and thinking stuff? You're looking for something much sillier. 20-second showdown. This one is wonderful. You play in 2 teams and you have this kind of tug of war sand timer. So one team completes the challenge, and when they've completed it, they flip the sand timer back up to the other team, and then when they've completed it, they flip it back. And when one team runs out of time, they lose that round. The challenges are hilarious. We used to have a copy of this in the library here at Twist, and we had to remove it because it was causing havoc. You will have people running to the front door, opening it and closing again. You'll have people doing things with these weird sticks that they give you in the game. You'll have people having to shout out tongue twisters, and all of this happens really quickly because you've got a very noisy sound timer telling you that you need to do it quickly. You can play loads of people. I'm trying to see what it says in the box. It's probably essentially unlimited. It says on the box 5 to 20 players, so you have one person running the game and you need at least 2 teams of 2, and then up to that you can have as many different people as you like. Really, really silly fun. A lot of the challenges are active, so you need to be able to like get up and run around. Definitely good for big groups of people this Christmas. Right, my final 2 game recommendations for you this year are 2 kids games. So continuing on the slightly kind of comedy, silly, fun is Save the Dragon. This game is wonderful. It basically pops up into this like castle in the box, and the premise of the game is you're at the bottom and you're trying to get to the top to save the dragon. Other players can put, what's the word I'm looking for? Boulders. Other players can pop boulders in the top as part of their goes, and essentially the boulders roll down the hill, and any people that they kind of take off on their way have to start again from the bottom. It's just really silly, good fun. It's funny when people's characters get hit. Kids love it. Grown-ups have been having a great time with it, because we do have it in the library here at Twist. And it just looks really, really nice. It's a nice game, it's good fun, it's really simple, and kids will just play with it all day. Really recommend Save the Dragon. And my final recommendation for kids 5 and up is Fish Club. So Fish Club is kind of a Connect 4 but without a set grid, and this is a upright grid that sits on the table, and you're dropping your fish pieces. One of you plays blue, one of you plays red, and the yellow pieces are kind of neutral that anyone can put in, and you're trying to get 4 in a row or 5 in a row, all touching. So you can kind of see these blues here are in a cluster of like 4. Oh no, is that a 5th blue? Yeah, so the blue person would have won in this instance. So you're trying to get 5 of your fishes all touching together, but putting them in the top. It's really good for the little kids, just like, posting the fishes in, but then like looking for what they're trying to create. So even for like slightly older kids, there's a bit of strategy there as well. Again, it's a game that looks really nice. It's nice and tactile. You can kind of play with the pieces. Really, really popular, and it doesn't just have the kind of structure that Connect 4 has, where you can only go in a place, you kind of drop them in, it bounces around, there's not as much control, and that makes it really, really good fun. And the fish and the little starfishes are very, very cute as well. Okay, so that's it. We've covered 20 games across our 3 gift guides. If you haven't seen the other 2 parts, they are available as well, so you can go and look up those. As always, if you need any help with picking your gifts this Christmas, please do drop us a message, come in. We are very, very keen, eager to help you make sure that you get the perfect gift in someone's hands this Christmas, so they can have loads and loads of fun playing the board game you bought them. Pop in, drop us a message on social media, and we'll be happy to send you over some recommendations and help you get that perfect gift. If you're watching this from not Plymouth or from too far afield, then I'm sure you have a local game shop, and they're really, really great places. The people in them are usually super knowledgeable, so we'll be able to help you pick that perfect game, so pop in and see them too. Merry Christmas from all of us at Twist. Goodbye.